Have you ever walked into a room and felt like everyone was staring at you? Maybe you tripped in public and were convinced everyone saw, or arrived late to class thinking all eyes were on you. Well, there's a name for this feeling, and the science behind it might surprise you. Today, we're diving into the spotlight effect, a fascinating psychological phenomenon that affects all of us, and why understanding it can change how you see social situations forever. The spotlight effect is our tendency to overestimate how much other people notice our appearance, actions, and mistakes. We imagine ourselves under a metaphorical spotlight, thinking we're the center of everyone's attention. But here's the thing. Most people are way too busy thinking about themselves to focus on you. This happens because we're naturally self-focused. We're the main character in our own story. We have access to all our own thoughts, feelings, and insecurities, so we assume others do too. But the reality is, other people are just as self-absorbed as we are. The spotlight we think is shining on us, it's mostly in our heads. Even when we are being observed, like during a presentation, people aren't scrutinizing us nearly as much as we think. Understanding this can be incredibly liberating. Research shows we typically think about twice as many people notice our social blunders compared to how many actually do. But where does this research come from? The most famous study on the spotlight effect was conducted at Cornell University. Researchers had students wear embarrassing t-shirts and then enter a room full of their peers. The students predicted that about half the people in the room would notice their embarrassing shirt, but, in reality, only about 23% actually noticed. That's more than double the overestimation. This pattern held true across multiple embarrassing scenarios they tested. The researchers concluded that we consistently overestimate how much we stand out to others. This study gave scientific credibility to what many of us intuitively suspected. But knowing about the spotlight effect is one thing. How do we use this knowledge to feel more confident in our daily lives? Next time you're giving a presentation at work, remember that your audience isn't analyzing your every move. At social events, people are more focused on having a good time than judging your conversation skills. At the gym, everyone's too busy focusing on their own workout to worry about your form. Here are 3 key reminders to combat the spotlight effect. First, remember that everyone else is just as self-focused as you are. Second, most of your small mistakes and awkward moments go completely unnoticed. And third, even if someone does notice something, they'll likely forget about it much faster than you will. This knowledge can free you to take more risks, speak up more often, and worry less about judgment. You can dance without worrying about your moves, ask questions without fear of looking stupid. The spotlight you think is on you, you have the power to turn it off. Because the truth is, most people are too busy starring in their own life story to spend much time as an audience member in yours. And honestly, that's one of the most liberating realizations you can have. You're free to be yourself, because most people simply aren't watching as closely as you think they are. So the next time you feel that imaginary spotlight on you, take a deep breath and remember the science. If you found this psychology breakdown helpful, make sure to subscribe for more insights into how your mind works. Hit that like button if the spotlight effect resonated with you, and let me know in the comments. What's a time you thought everyone was watching but they probably weren't? Check out this playlist for more psychology breakdowns that will change how you see yourself and others. From cognitive biases to social psychology, we've got your curiosity covered. Thanks for watching, and remember, you're probably not as noticeable as you think, and that's perfectly okay.